This is Doxy Mom, and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't done so already, I'd greatly appreciate if you hit that little red subscribe button. You can ring the bell for notifications, and if you like this video, just give it a thumbs up. Well, Miss Indy and I, we're going to bring you the news in 15 minutes or less, so let's get started. Now, before you go and get a COVID-19 test, you might want to listen to this first story from ProPublico. They're reporting on how a $175 COVID test led to $2,479 in charges. Now, an attorney, her name is Rachel de Cordova, she went to Signature Care Emergency Center's drive-through COVID-19 testing site. They took her temperature, her blood pressure, and her pulse, all while she was in her car on July 21st. And she gave them her insurance card to pay for the $175 rapid response drive-through test. Then they stuck a swab deep up into her nasal cavity to obtain a specimen. Rachel is an attorney, and she started reading over the documents that the Signature Care Emergency Center gave her to sign. And Rachel, well, she cringed when she was asked to basically sign away her rights. It said this is an out-of-network care and patients are responsible for any charges not covered by their plan, as well as any co-payment, deductible, or co-insurance. Now, the more she read, the more annoyed Rachel became, since Signature Care charges a facility fee of anywhere from $500 to $100,000. Another charge is the observation fee that could range between $1,000 and $100,000. So, Signature Care was giving itself leeway to charge almost any amount to her insurance plan, and she could be on the hook because out-of-network insurers and their members are often left to pay the full tab or whatever discount they can negotiate. So, at some testing sites, a test can cost thousands of dollars, and some of these costs may be passed on to the patient. So, Rachel, she didn't sign the document, and she left without getting the results of her test. So, she decided she was going to investigate it a little more, and well, when her son started feeling sick after a baseball tryout, her husband took the child to the same Signature Care, and they waited 10 hours in a hot car, and the husband, he was like, I'll just sign anything, let's just get through this. Well, they finally got the results. Of course, they were negative, and the parents, they were relieved, yet they decided to ask for an itemized statement of the bill. Well, the test charge was $175, but the facility fee was $1,784, and the physician fee was $486, for a grand total of $2,479. Now, Rachel said you're doing a drive-through test with 5 minutes of interaction, and they're pretending like they're giving you emergency services, and you never even walk into the facility. So before you go get a test, I'd make sure my insurance was going to pay 100% of the entire cost of the test, and I'll leave a link. Now, Ryan Fournier, he tweeted this out. Biden can't wait to see who he picked for VP, end tweet. Then, the Hub Life, they tweeted this out. Wearing a mask doesn't save lives. Voting Democrats out of office at all levels of government saves lives, in tweet. And he's absolutely right. And speaking of masks, Breitbart is reporting that Houston's Democrat Mayor Sylvester Turner, well, he announced on Monday that police will now issue $250 fines to individuals without a face covering after they receive their first warning. Guys, I am so glad I don't live in Houston. It is so hot outside right now, and I just can't breathe in a mask. And I had to wear one yesterday to go see my doctor, and her office is in the hospital. And, you know, the second my foot was out that door, my mask came off. Anyway, Houston has 50,000 virus cases with 472 unfortunate fatalities, and we don't know all these fatalities are because of COVID. We've talked about this. We'll talk about it again here in a minute. But the population of Houston, 2.3 million people. So it looks like to me that the police there, they've got more important things to do than to be face mask police. And I'll leave a link. Now, speaking of masks, the Gateway Pundit, they're reporting that Holland's top scientists have examined data and research about COVID-19, and they declared there is no clear evidence that wearing face masks protects anybody. In fact, the scientists said wearing a mask may actually hamper the fight against the virus, and they give a false sense of security. Now, Cohen Baranz, a spokesperson for the National Institute for Public Health and the Environment, said this: face masks in public places are not necessary based on all the current evidence. There is no benefit, and there may even be a negative impact, end quote. So, there you go. Now, guys, y'all know I've been anti-mask from the beginning, and I only wear one at my doctor's office. Otherwise, if a store requires me to wear them, I just won't shop there. But that's my opinion. Everybody, guys, you have to do what you feel is best for you. Now, Charlie Kirk, he tweeted this out. The American Postal Workers Union endorsed Joe Biden for president. Are we still ready? Are we still really supposed to trust USPS with our election? End tweet. Well, of course we can't. Now, I personally know 2 postal workers. They're good friends of mine. They're voting for President Trump. But we all know we must walk into our polling stations, just like we walk into our grocery stores, doctor's offices, hair salons, and many other businesses. So we must vote in person. And guys, don't fear President Trump. He's going to win in 2020. Not to mention, he may sign an executive order to address mail-in voting. I certainly hope that he does. Now, next, the Gateway Pundit. They're reporting that the teachers union in several cities want to keep schools closed this fall due to the coronavirus. They want to pretend the coronavirus is deadly for children. Now, in the United States, there have been 86 children who have died where the death was linked to the coronavirus. And we all know how they love to link people to the coronavirus, even though they died of kidney disease or the flu or died in a motorcycle accident. Now, unfortunately, approximately 500 children die every year from the flu. Each year, over 1,200 children ages 0 to 14 are killed in car accidents, and 700 die from drowning in the same age group. So, schools, they've got to open in the fall. We all know this. And I'll leave a link. And AP News, they're reporting that the Trump administration is awarding more than $35 million in Justice Department grants to organizations that provide safe housing for survivors of human trafficking. The grants are being announced today at the White House. It's an event attended by A.G. Barr, presidential advisor of Ivanka Trump, and other administration officials and survivors of human trafficking and organizations that serve them. The $35 million in housing assistance grants for victims of human trafficking is being provided by the Office for Victims of Crime within the Justice Department's Office of Justice Programs to provide housing and services to human trafficking survivors, which I think this is just wonderful what they're doing. And I'm going to leave you with Psalm 116, verses 1 through 9 that say, I love the Lord, for he heard my voice. He heard my cry for mercy. Because he turned his ear to me, I will call on him as long as I live. The cords of death entangled me. The anguish of the grave came over me. I was overcome by distress and sorrow. Then I called on the name of the Lord. Lord, save me. The Lord is gracious and righteous. Our God is full of compassion. The Lord protects the unwary. When I was brought low, He saved me. Return to your rest, my soul, for the Lord has been good to you. For you, Lord, have delivered me from death, my eyes from tears, my feet from stumbling, that I may walk before the Lord in the land of the living. Well, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, this is Doc C Mom, and God bless you all.